My name's Misch. I play the saxophone, sing, write songs, and produce them using electronics. And increasingly I've been sampling the elements, field recording outside. Alchemy is a song about tenderness and transformation and our capacity to turn loss into love. The song's intended to be a balm or a lullaby to soothe someone who's in the depths of heartbreak or shedding an old self. I think I play the saxophone because it allows me to retune with my breathing, and I use it as a tool to self-soothe. When I'm recording saxophone through long reverbs and creating drones of breath, I always imagine clouds expanding in a space. I like to think about cycles of elements, like my breath becoming the clouds, which then dissipates into the sky, which causes rain, which forms into tears, which become a form of tenderness that starts like the cycle of breathing all over again. The production on this track started with the pocket piano, which is a tiny synthesizer which has a kind of toy feel to me, and it has this one arpeggiator sound which feels slightly distorted but exceptionally comforting at the same time. I knew I wanted some organic, weathered sounding percussion, so I recorded some grains and stones and shells that have been collected by the women in my family over generations. I was also experimenting with using preserved moss instead of foam as a vocal shield, which was inspired by spending time in forests and listening to the way that the sound was dampened by the moss on the ground. To be this part of the song where it's really about breaking down and all the elements coming apart, and the heart plucks really remind me of these kind of threads that are just detangling and reforming into these new patterns. And I wanted them to build until you get to the point where these big clouds of saxophone are being breathed, like when you have all this new air being breathed into your life. And the song kind of expands into this space where it's both melancholic, but it's also simultaneously completely euphoric.